Welcome to BeMoYu Talks with Muvumbi and Lesego.
Hello.
Hello. So today we'll be chatting to Cindy Dibete. She's an entrepreneur who started her first company at the age of 26. It was called Dibete Financial, and she also has a company called Mustard Seed NPC, where she has conversations. She teaches through conversations. Under Mustard Seed, she has programs called online. Let me talk about the first one, Divine Conversations, which at first started as Second Wife's Club. And I love that story, how it started, but she changed it over the years, where she organized conversations with traumatologists, healers around her space, healers that assisted her in dealing with some traumas that happened in her life. And she'll just tell us more about that. Like traumatologists, she spoke to mediums. So essentially, most of the things that not most of them, some of the things that I found myself into is she recommended them, and for my healing journey, because there were certain things that I was going through as well, and she was like, okay, this worked for me, try it out. If it doesn't, if you know, try this out. So I met a traumatologist that assisted me. I met a womb healer through her programs who assisted me. I also met a Reiki practitioner. And we are talking about Black women in South Africa. All these practitioners are Black women. What she had found, she used to express this a lot. What she had found was that a lot of spiritual healers predominantly white in South Africa. So she went on a search. She was sick and tired. Like I said, she's a CA entrepreneur. So she was running an accounting firm from the age of 26. So she was tired of being the only Black woman in the room. So she's creating a space where there's other Black women who are professionals and who are experts in their field. That's what she's some of the things that she's passionate about. Yes, that is Cindy Dibete in a nutshell. There's a whole lot more about her, and we're gonna find that out today.
So just for everybody, Cindy is going to be a transformational speaker at the BeMoYu Stylish event. This is why it's so important. Be more stylish. Sorry everybody. I don't know why I keep doing that. So the Be More Stylish event that's happening, she will be at the Joburg one specifically on the 14th of September. And so that's why we're interviewing her today.
Yeah, you got caught there. Okay. Welcome. Welcome. You're actually a very first guest. We've been trying to have other guests. Yes. We've been trying to get other guests, but technology is like, not today. So we've been trying to do this. So, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, be more stylish. What do you understand about it, Cindy?
Yeah. Well, except for the shock that it gave me. I was telling my sister that they asked me to come talk at Be More Stylish. I have no clue why. Because it couldn't be fair that I'm just too random for style. But anyway, stylish is a for me, you know what, Nate, to be very honest, stylish is a bit of an intimidating word for me because I always find myself to be bland. So when I'm associated with style, I always have to like think twice, like really think, okay, what does it actually mean, So that's my perspective of style, interesting enough, because it makes me, very self-conscious. But I'm honored to be invited. I asked Lesego so many, can you just break it down further so that I know what your expectations are? Because I needed to make sure that you're not expecting glamour from me and I deliver nothing towards that.
Yeah.
I don't think
I don't think
actually not about.
I know, but it's just an intimidating word, and that's where I am right now. It like really intimidates me, that word. But anyway, I'm embracing it, and I'm grateful to be associated with it.
Yeah, but look at your glasses. Oh, definitely. Look at how nice are your frames. They are very styling. They are very styling.
I know, right?
They're stunning.
The purple, the wild.
Yes. The color of the crown. Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. I think style for me is about glow. And the glow is starts usually internal, and you see it through, you see how your skin is, you see how your speech is, because you can be the most glamorous person but with no glow, and I think that's what Be More Stylish is about. It's about talking about our glow and how a lot of it needs to be honored. And I think us inviting you was about the throat chakra and honoring that glow, especially in terms of your work, your healing work. And when Lesego thought of you, that's what we wanted, because I think beyond style, there's so much more to learn about the glow.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much for that compliment. Look, obviously going through, like really thinking about it after the invite, I think I found resonance in understanding that there is a sense of intentionality with style. It's not random. It's not like something that just lands on one. It's something that is intentional. And I think it just really awakened things that were dormant, I suppose, inside of me, that I then understood it as that. And I quite enjoyed that, then starting to kind of toy with it. This is now after the intimidation and the torture, all the, the references that I went. But honestly, the intentionality of the word is what resonates, and that makes me to be able to embrace it, even though I would not have considered myself as like stylish as as the first thing that came to my mind, but I quite enjoy that, and I really, really take honor in this process. Thank you.
It's kind of weird to hear you say you're not stylish, because as far as I know, is that style?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know your dress sense is fantastic. Even when you're dressing down, you usually look amazing. But of course, that's not why we invited you as a speaker. I was telling that there's a lot that you taught me regarding, especially being calm in the midst of a storm, and just breathing through the storm, and just allowing to be present and see exactly what the lesson is about, and ask the questions in the particular storm. Ask the important question of why are you here? May I learn what you are here for, and embrace the storm and then move on from that. Because the embracing part, we don't usually befriend it. We don't usually befriend that part of embracing the storm during the storm. And I've learned so much from you regarding that. Just hold up, just hug it, love it while you're in it, so that it teaches you whatever that it needs to teach you, and then you let it go, and you move on swiftly move on, because looking back is not going to assist you at all. That's mainly why, one of the reasons why I thought to be the best person to invite, as you know, I mean, the work that you do is quite transformational, and there's a healing process that I went through that now I've passed it on to Ngalama, and I've passed it on to everybody else. And you were a major part.
A source.
Yes, you were a major part of that, from the programs that you've been running, from Master Seed and that Right Conversations, and I was telling Galama, which originally Right Conversation was called Second Wives Club. Club of Second Wives.
What?
Tell us why you named the Second Wives Club, by the way.
I know, right? And thank you for seeing me, and the compliment, highly appreciated. And what I can say is that you only see who you are. So, if that is what you see in me, I'm grateful for it. So we had an idea of bringing controversial conversations on the table. But the central point of that idea was, and when I say we, it's myself and two friends of mine. The central point of it moved to mixed families. So, myself coming from a mixed family and recognizing that mixed family is like, it's now a new norm, if I can use that word, because whereas there was kind of a prescribed, used loosely, way of looking at families, now we're getting more and more mixed families. And with mixed families, there are hurts and times, unfortunately, that happen, as we raise the kids that we not necessarily biological parents of. But it was a little bit broader than that, because we said, look, this woman usually who comes in as, the stepmother or whatever, is sometimes rubbished. So you're coming into this collective consciousness that immediately makes you rubbish. So you kind of have to navigate through that before your true self can be observed. And while you're navigating through that, you actually may lose yourself as well. So we were looking at that, and we were saying, you know what, we are all human and we all deserve love. And things could have happened in people's lives, but it doesn't mean just because you're coming in as the second woman, you are, to be rubbished and thrown off the bin, and you're like this horrible monster person. So that's the one thing. But then the second part is that if this woman is hurt and this woman is going to be raising children that may not necessarily be hers biologically, and I'm talking from a woman perspective, because I'm a woman, so it's kind of an easier point of reference from me, but this would be applicable both sides. I just have to mention that. So if this person is hurt and now they are also raising children from a hurt space, then it's likely that they could actually be hurting and raising hurt children, and then the pain perpetrates. So there won't necessarily be an end to that. So my friends and I sit around the table and we were talking about this, and we were conceptualizing a healing circle that we will bring in. These are the people that we're looking to bring in, and this is what we'll be talking about. And I think in that week I watched First Was Club, the movie, and I came and the word kind of landed in my gut to say, okay, we can have a Second Wives Club. And I thought, okay, that is a little too out there, so maybe not. So I held it, and I promise you, I held my peace, and I walked into this meeting and I was like all proper and using good words until my other friend said, let's call it the Second Wives Club. And I thought, okay, I suppose this is happening. So that's how the thing, ended up being called the Second Wives Club. And unfortunately, because again, this whole Second Wives Club as a concept, it still has, not still, but it has a lot of charge in it. So that did not last very long. We had to just go back to the drawing boards and say, okay, what is it that we're trying to achieve? And then we, went back to spirit and were guided to call it Divine Conversations. Again, the conversations started moving past just mixed families, and then they started broadening. And with the broader the conversations, then then we had an opportunity to rename it, which is why now it's called the Divine Conversations.
I love it. I love the Divine Conversations. And I one day hope to be part of them. I missed the one on the non-monogamy, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because we were busy with BeMoYu events. But we're gonna start collaborating now. So that's wonderful. And I have a few questions.
Awesome. Sure.
Okay. So as you know, we already mentioned the style goes beyond just how you dress, and you having worked in the corporate space and then also worked within the spiritual space and then traveled also around the world. And I want to know, what is your 5 common factors that are universal for style? And I'm going to cue in things like body language, because I just want to make it clear that style is beyond that. And I would love you to unpack that for us too.
Okay. Look, in terms of body language, I'm sure we've all heard the stats, and they keep shifting. And whichever way that they shift, I haven't heard them being below 50%, that your body language is that much more important than even your vocal, what you're going to present in voice. So it's a big number. It's either 60% or 80%. It keeps moving depending on the research that you're looking at. But it's something that is very important, very meaningful, and it is something that speaks before you can say words. It's interesting that you talk about my travels, because when I traveled, I was an accountant. There was a point in my life where I was an accountant. So I did my traveling as an accountant. So right before even landing that role that caused me to do a lot of traveling, I've always been kind of an out of the box, out of norm type of an accountant. So I would show up with a pink shirt with my gray suit. Back in the day when we used to wear gray suits. So when I put my gray suit, it's going to have like a flower on it or something like that.
Not a plain white shirt like everybody else.
Style. So we took, so I just like really, really swerved from norm, and very consciously so. Now I used my clothing to represent who I am. So yes, my body language would come in and represent and show up in a point, but my dress sense helped me with that confidence that my body then would need to then show up fully as. And that's what style is for me, to say, what I put on, I need to feel good in the clothing that I'm in. Because yes, my body language can be whatever, but I think the clothes that I put on, they actually help to portray and to really project this point that I'm trying to put across. And it's very interesting that the feedback that I always got, was that, but you're so different, you're so unique. I'm like, and
an accountant
people who
with a
didn't know that I
flower.
was an accountant. They would look at me and like, how are you an accountant, by the way? And I suppose it explains the subsequent transition out of that profession. Not that there's anything wrong with the profession, but I've just always seen things a little bit broader and bigger than what that microscope that we were given to say, as an accountant, this is who you are. You sit in the corner and you punch in your calculator and you don't look at people type of thing. I really don't really survive in that environment. But I use my dress sense to reflect my personality, and that helps my body language to like really then show up, because I am comfortable in what I'm in.
Of course.
So what you're talking about, Cindy, is something that I recently discovered regarding the percentage that you've been talking about. 55% is how 55% is for how you look, 88% on how you sound, that's the tone of your voice, and then 7% on the quality of your content. And I remember we were talking that I was not a very confident girl when I was growing up. And all I focused on was content, and everything else did not matter to me. How I looked, how I presented myself, and did not matter to me. And it only clicked. Like, I found this out 2 weeks ago. It only clicked 2 weeks ago. Like, oh, no wonder even at the presentations. At the presentation, nobody could hear me. The voice, I was too nervous, so shaky, sounds like I'm crying. And the way that I presented myself. So I would wear a suit, yes, but the way I presented myself and how I spoke, I would just stand still and no personality, nothing to it. And I then understood, it connecting the dots, it makes sense. Okay, so these are the errors that I made all these years. Because I've been an entrepreneur for some time, including laziness as well.
Yeah.
However, patient, because you focus more on content, this is what I'm selling, this is what I'm good at. You come with amazing ideas. However, how you present yourself and how you present them, the tone of your voice, limits you. And unfortunately, this is why we have BeMoYu Stylish, to actually teach us that. How you look is important, is what you have to say.
Yeah.
Just as important as what
just
as important. And
couldn't agree with you more.
And we've been limiting ourselves so much, focusing on only language, while there's body language, there's different ways of language. There's intention language, there's spiritual language, there's all sorts of types of language, and we have to be aligned with all of them. Not just only focused on the one. So thank you for mentioning
Gotcha.
It made me realize why most of TV presenters and radio presenters sound a certain way. The tone of voice is almost similar, because her tone of voice makes you listen, because she's been in the industry for some time.
Yes.
Presenters who've been around for some time, this is why they're doing very well, because they've been working on the tone and they're working on the look. This is why they're all brand.
Yep.
You take that very seriously. That's why we have a stylist at the event, and a makeup artist, and a hair advisor. We try to make sure that from your crown, you are covered. When you walk out, a brand new person, not just a vision board, because there's no point of being crystal clear with your goals, and then you don't know how to present those goals. So that's
I suppose showing up for those goals that you're setting is the major part of the job. And showing up, does not necessarily mean, and Zalama put it very well, to say it's not about the glamour, but it's the glow that comes from who you are, right? So I'm completely with you. Couldn't agree with you more.
Awesome. One more question. As a parent to young adults, you've gone from dressing up your kids to having, to grin your teeth when they start choosing their own outfits, their own haircuts. I remember a few occasions coming back from the hair salon, and my mom was not impressed. And there's also issues about manners or etiquette, whether it's how we treat other people or just how you eat. Sometimes there's concerns about our children's weight, are they doing enough physical exercise? And all of this, as a parent, you have to have an opinion. So how do you balance that? Sharing how you feel, your concerns and your wishes for them, without taking away their dignity, because the physical is such a sensitive thing, especially to teenagers, So how do you deal with that?
I know, right? I know. I've got a 15-year-old right now, so you can send sympathies this way. It's actually, I find my children, my kids, they really, I think they're responsible for the spark in my heart, because they're fearless, first of all. I mean, just maybe before I even go to my kids, I think my mom, right up to her last day on earth, she never approved of the decisions I made with my hair, and she told me as much. She told me, and her line was, her line has always been there, you know, ever since I handed over the reins to you to mind your own hair, you are not doing a good job. You have failed. So I knew this right up to her last day on earth.
Okay.
Handing over those reins was just not one of her best ends. But I mean, that's parenting for you. But it's at times, what I've noticed with the kids is that even before teenage, they start expressing, actually around 7. That because at 7, this is when they get their personality, they individuate. Now they start then deciding, you know, who and how, and you know what they want to look like and what they use. And that's where the challenges.
And they're socializing more, they're going to school.
Right. And then they want to look a certain way. I think the thing that makes it difficult for us parents, again, is that rule book. And I don't know where it exists because I never got one. However, there is a rule book that says the girl needs to look like this and the boy needs to look like that. And you are my child, so you are for me to do with you what I want and what I use. I feel that just creates too much stress for me. So what I do with my kids, I allow them, obviously give them the parameters, and parameters not to basically say, oh, because you're a girl, you cannot, you know, dress up like that and what have you. But common decency, you know, yes, you can wear shorts and everything, but keep your private, you know, things like that, you know, don't over expose your stuff, you know. So yes, I give them guidelines, but that is a small leeway that one can start, you know, giving to the kids to see how they make the decisions. And they need that because they need to sharpen their decision making skills as well. Otherwise, they'll be dependent forever. I mean, my daughter is out of the house. It's one of the best things for me. I love her and everything, but one of the proud moments as a mom is that she's grown up enough to be able to go out of the house and fly and make a life for herself and stand on her own and what it is. I'm very proud of that. But I don't think we would have reached there if I wanted to rule every decision that she's making. So I had to make peace with, I cannot be. Oh, absolutely. I mean, the stress for me, I need to figure myself out, and then 2 other people, I mean, really, you know, and then at the end of the day, then, you know, when they don't become adults and they can't take care of themselves, and then I can blame them down the line. I mean, it's just like a really, really, I think it's a thing that's made for stress, and I'm not one for stressing, really. So
I like that.
I think when the kids start showing signs of having an opinion, I always call it they grow an opinion. And that's why I did that decision. And it kind of, you know, makes peace for me and say, okay, fine, we take your point, you know, we know where you are, and then let's find a medium, a happy medium somewhere. But it's under your advisement as the parent, and it's under your guidance as the parent to say, okay, we can do this and we can do it this far without pruning it too much, but it helps you to actually just support them. And it's very important to encourage them in decision making, because if they can't make a decision at that point, chances of them making a decision on something like a career that is daunting, on chances of them not making a decision about a life partner, that is hard. So if they can't be trusted on what they're going to wear, what their hair is going to look like. I mean, I look at my son, he goes to a school that allows, the only piece of uniform that they actually have is a t-shirt. And then the pants, they just have to be black, but they can be whatever. And the shoes, they just have to be a certain color, but they can be whatever. So you can imagine what I'm dealing with. The hairstyle that he has, you know, it's not something I would have chosen for him.
But and I mean, that's liberating.
He's so, and he says, for this reason, he wants to stay in this school because now he's individuating in ways that I never thought coming, right? And he's finding himself, and he does these things with his hair, things that I pray that the school can enforce more rules, because I don't think I'm able to.
Your mother is turning in her, your mother is turning wherever she is. It's just like,
like,
see,
really, it's like she thought I got it wrong. She must see the grandchildren, right?
I just want to share something that Jada Pinkett said, né? That's, I think, really, really, really locks what you're saying. She says, the question why I would let Willow cut her hair. First, the let must be challenged. This is a world where women, girls are constantly reminded that they don't belong to themselves, that their bodies are not their own, nor their power or self-determination. I made a promise to endow my little girl with the power to always know that her body, spirit, and her mind are her domain. Willow cut her hair because her beauty, her value, her worth is not measured by the length of her hair. It's also a statement that claims that even little girls have the right to own themselves and should not be a slave to even their mother's deepest insecurities, hopes, and desires. Even little girls should not be a slave to the preconceived ideas of what a culture believes a little girl should be.
Oh, that is beautiful.
It is so beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. I think every little girl needs to know that, you know.
Or little boy, or little boys,
Honestly, kids need to know that they do belong to themselves. I mean, true. That's beautiful.
And us too, because they still us with our mothers, still looking at us like, that hairstyle. Wait,
are you sure this is how you are going to face the world today?
Yes, you know.
So often, wait back.
I barely shave my armpits, so you can only imagine. And it's not just my mother, for example. It could be my friends, like, why are you not shaving your armpit? So, you know, these are some of the things. When was the last time you shaved your legs? You know, why are we shaving our legs? You know, first of all. So, you know, but if you want to,
why are you bothered?
Yes, and if you want to wax rather than shave, the options are also there for you. If you
knock yourself out.
It's going to be exciting on the 14th of September. I'm so excited to have you there, Cindy. What did you call it just now? Intentional. What did you call it? Intentional word.
Yes. To basically just be intentional about one style. So, you know, to not let it be haphazard. And random. You know, random is good.
Or inherited.
There are some things where you can be intentional. Right.
I was going to an interview, and this was before I knew about femininity. I was going to an interview. She's like, "So what color are you gonna wear?" Pink, I guess.
Oh, is it pink?
You must go there intentionally knowing exactly what to do, and according to your menstrual cycle as well. The best time to go promote, to go to interviews and marketing your product or whatever, you must do it when you're ovulating, because that is your best time. Yeah, and you must wear colors according to how you're feeling. So those are some of the things. Something that she said probably 4 years ago, and I just remember.
I don't even remember. You see, when I say it was something that inside of you, because I don't even remember it. But I get that a lot with my clients. It's like, oh yeah, but you advised me to do this. I'm like, oh really? Thank you.
You're a mentor, and you mentor, like, we don't want to mention names, but huge people in the industry and people who are shaking the world. Why did you think you want to mentor people? Why did you choose that?
I think as a healer and a teacher, that's how I interact with people. And the word mentoring is very interesting because it is linked to one's kind of the walk that I would have walked, right? So in the learnings that I have had people that had come before me and they had carried me to where I am. And my giving back is honestly to just package that and give it to the next people, so that we all need like blind spot checkers and things like that, so that we're better people.
I love
and
that.
Not better
Blind
people
spot.
because we cannot be accepted as we are. It's not, being better doesn't mean that you cannot be accepted as you are. But honestly, if you don't know what you don't know and you don't see, and you just like the point that you've made now with when you go to an interview, you don't just rock up. You need to be very decisive about the color, about, your energy and everything that goes with it. Because if you're not in alignment yourself, then chances of you walking into a room and people are like, oh, can she leave already? Are high. So I've had a lot of lessons, and I have been really, really blessed to have a lot of teachers, because I do open myself to a lot of teachings. Not to say is to consume everything that I take in. Yes, I take it in, but what I do is I craft my own religion and I craft my own way of doing things. And if there's anything that I would like anyone to learn from me, is to take whatever or drop whatever, but then create your own self out of that, rather than just copying and making. So I'm not creating little Cindy's. I'm very conscious about that. But what I'm saying is that I just expose my own learnings to the world, so that people can pick, and then you can be a better, represent better and build that business a little bit better, just one notch, one level, better in the business that you're building, and my job would be done.
Love it. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you so much, Cindy.
Absolute pleasure.
So this is it.
Yeah.
See you both.
See you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, see you in 2 weeks. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. Okay,
bye.
Great. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.